IRS.GOV has an IRS tracking tool to track your stimulus check. The IRS Track My Stimulus Check tool launched in 2020, and it doesn't work. And it doesn't work in 2021. In this recording, I'll explain why the IRS Track My Stimulus tool could cause a lot of confusion to viewers, especially when they see a March 17th date when they're tracking their stimulus check. You go to IRS.gov today and try to track your stimulus check. You might receive a result that says March 17th. What does that March 17th date mean? And why is the IRS.gov Track My Stimulus Check tool not reliable and cause for confusion? I go over that in this recording as Mornings LALATE continues. So far this morning, I've gone over three different situations about your third stimulus check. The $1,400 third stimulus check, the Biden 2021 stimulus check. The first recording went over direct deposit receipt for all Americans. The second recording on Mornings LA today went over direct express card. People were waiting for that stimulus check to arrive on their direct express card. This recording, however, goes over the IRS Track My Stimulus tool, the IRS.gov tracking of your stimulus check, and the confusions about IRS and the stimulus check in general. And with that, let me get to the details. But first, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You see how this channel is really going into very clear specifics about specific subjects that you have asked for over the weekend and breaking it into separate videos so you have all your questions answered on this channel. Also like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member, and thank you for the new members earlier today. The member link is at the top of the chat and also in the pinned comment of the description. IRS.gov launched an IRS Track My Stimulus Check tool under the second stimulus, and it's now still live for the third stimulus. Now, as to that live nature, here's a first series of opening comments. It went live last week, the IRS.gov Track My Stimulus tool, and immediately it crashed, and then it went live again. At the time of this recording, it's expected to go up and down throughout the day. It may go up, and then it may go down. But that's not so much the subject of this recording. Rather, this recording goes over what information it provides and what confusion it causes. IRS.gov sets up a tool for you to track when your $1,400 or higher stimulus check lands or is sent out. Let me go over what it's supposed to do and what it doesn't do. The IRS Tracking My Stimulus Check tool, by its pure name, seems to sound like it's tracking when you're going to get the stimulus check. It has never tracked when you are to get the stimulus check. Let me make this even simpler. Around Christmas time, there's a very popular app called NORAD, Track Where Santa Is. Well, the concept of tracking Santa is to know where Santa is going to arrive at your house. That's the concept of the word of tracking. Well, in the case of the IRS Tracking My Stimulus Check, it has never told you what date it's going to arrive. All it tells you is what date it goes out. At least that's the intended purpose of it. So by its own nature, the title of the tracking tool is not the particular right choice of words. But let's go with that. When you go to IRS.gov and you try to track when your stimulus check went out, is that information accurate? It's not. The tool generally doesn't work for a series of reasons. I'm going to show you each of the ways in which it doesn't work. First, sometimes when you try to track your stimulus check, it results with no information. Now, I got to tell you, there is nothing more that scares, I almost cursed. There's nothing more that really scares viewers than going to an IRS.gov tool, tracking a stimulus check, and seeing no data, because their immediate reaction is, oh my God, I'm not getting a stimulus check. This is why the tool's not reliable. Because when you go to track something and it says we can't track anything, it doesn't exist, the presumption is there's no stimulus check. It's as though NORAD was tracking Santa and it says does not exist. Santa doesn't exist? Yeah, you could see the implication of a no result. Here's what you should think. If you see no information, again, listen to what I'm telling you in this recording. The tool doesn't work. So if you see no information, just brush it off, sort of like how I'm brushing off a massive rainstorm outside right now. So sort of brush it off. It doesn't mean much of anything if it says there's no information. Let's say it does provide information, and for many viewers of this channel, the information it's currently saying is March 17th. Let me go over that information and specifically the March 17th date. First, when it provides you a date, it's generally wrong. It was wrong in 2020, and by all accounts, it'll be wrong in 2021. Let me show you how it was wrong in 2020. In 2020, it would show a date, and then viewers presume they wouldn't see their stimulus check until that date. Guess what? Countless viewers, thousands of viewers, received their stimulus check before that date. Then the other problem, the actual worst problem, which is viewers in 2020 saw a date and then they saw no check. And then a week went on and they still didn't see a check. And 2 weeks went on and they still didn't see a check. Again, that date is a misnomer because the date does not suggest when you are to receive the check. And sometimes it's not accurate as to when the check was sent out. In the current situation, you and I know that the March 17th date is the wrong date for when the stimulus check was sent out. It was sent out on Friday, which is not March 17th. As soon as viewers started to see that March 17th date, they said, oh, my stimulus check is being held by Treasury. It's not being held by Treasury. My stimulus check is not going out from Treasury until March 17th. Also untrue. So viewers are now believing that March 17th means that it has not left and won't be going out until March 17th. That's what some viewers think. Other viewers see the date and say, oh, that means I'm receiving it on March 17th. Other people say, my bank has it, but we'll be releasing it on March 17th. Needless to say, all of those answers may be right and all of them may be wrong. The tool doesn't work. So while this tool may seem to you as a way to track when you're receiving the check, it does not work to tell you when you're receiving the check. It also doesn't work to tell you when the check was sent out, because no viewer of this channel has yet used the tool where it says it was sent out last Friday. Let me go over that even more clear. Thousands and thousands of viewers of this channel received the stimulus check on Friday and Saturday. Do you think the IRS tracking tool says it was sent out on Friday? No. In those cases, it actually says the stimulus check's coming next week. The viewers already have the stimulus check. So suddenly you see how the IRS.GOV track my stimulus check tool is just wrong for so many reasons. It's wrong to track when you're receiving, and it's wrong to track when it's being sent out. Now, there's another instrument on IRS.GOV, which is called the transcript, which is different than the tracking tool. This is when you go into IRS.GOV and you do a transcript search on yourself. When you type in your social security number, it will reveal what's happened on your account. Namely, you filed a tax return in January of 2019, and you got a stimulus check in March of 2020. Those are entries it'll show. Well, again, the same problems happen with this one. The dates are wrong, the items are wrong, everything is generally inaccurate. So what's the takeaway then from this video? You're telling me just everything doesn't work? Yes. Should I rely upon for any information? This is what I should say. If it provides you beneficial information, then that is really good. But if it provides you no information, ignore it. Here's how it could provide you beneficial information. If you're a family of 4 and you want to ensure that you're getting 4 stimulus checks, which would be 1 check to the head of household at 4 times the amount, and you go to IRS.GOV and track your stimulus check, and it shows a stimulus check for 4, that is beneficial information because it means that they clearly know they're paying for 4 and they are going to pay for 4. That's where it's beneficial. Where it's also beneficial is where it actually says some activity occurred. So if it shows some activity that a stimulus check was sent out at some date, that's good. It means it's on its way. But do not use the information beyond that. Do not use the information for dates, for tracking, for lack of information, or for addition of information. What is the best way to track your stimulus check? The best way and the only way to track your stimulus check is word of mouth and your online banking portal. Your online banking portal will show on it whether a check is pending. And if it's pending, that means it's about to clear funds. But in the same case of some banks, they never show it pending, it just appears. For example, let's say one person sends you funds of $10. Sometimes the banks don't show it pending, they just deposit the funds the next day. That's why they don't show pending, they just go to process. They don't show pending or processing, they just go to completion. Another thing that will help you tell you when you're getting a stimulus check is word of mouth. If you know other people who bank at your bank or your financial institution and they have received their stimulus check, that is an indication you will get yours as well. So in the case of Chime, Cash App, countless viewers got their stimulus checks on Friday. Countless other viewers got stimulus checks on Friday and Saturday from commercial banks, small banks, credit unions, and more. And if those are you and you've gotten your checks, then great. Throughout the videos today, I've had viewers say in the comments, my bank has said no one's getting a stimulus check until March 17th. And other viewers have repeated that as well. That is good indication as well. Finally, what about this March 17th date? It almost is a whole video unto itself, but I'm putting in this one. If you have seen a March 17th date, I don't want your hopes to get high and think that the check funds will be available on March 17th. It could mean many different things to many different banks. One, it could mean the funds are available on March 17th. Two, it could mean the funds are pending on March 17th but are available on March 18th. It could mean that the funds will start to pend on March 17th and will be available in a few days. Or it could mean that the funds are available March 16th and that the latest they'll be available the 17th. It means a lot of things to a lot of different people. Ultimately, patience is key, but also information. If you've ever received anything electronically by direct deposit from a payee or an online merchant, for example, who you return something to and they gave a credit back to your account, this is the same process and it follows by the same banking regulations. If you see timings the same in the past, then this would follow the same timings. If, for example, you make an online deposit and that online deposit takes 24 hours to clear, this is likely how this process will fall for you as well. And I hope this information was helpful to you. And thank you for joining me throughout Mornings LA's 3 broadcasts today. The first one went over the whole deposit as a whole for all direct deposit recipients, paper check recipients, and also debit card recipients of the third stimulus check, and also the big financial news from Wall Street. The second video today went over direct express cards. If that's specifically you, go watch that video right before this, archive now on this channel. Again, just about direct express card recipients. This video, of course, was about the IRS tracking tool. I'm back at 12 noon with Home LALATE. Home LALATE or Noontime LALATE, whichever you call it, is back with a vengeance. Thank you for joining me on Early Mornings LALATE, which was a big hit this morning. And thank you for now at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And thank you for joining me for Evenings LALATE last night. Wow, that was a lot of fun, and I think you really, really enjoyed it. That's at 7 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. As always, make sure you subscribe. Hit this like on this video if the video helped you, and consider becoming a member. The link is in the pinned comment and top of the chat. Remember, it's free to subscribe. It's free to subscribe, and over the next few days, I'm going to show you the big money that's about to open in third stimulus for rent, utilities, food, business grants, and more. $30,000 to $50,000. You don't want to miss any of that money. You're going to get your stimulus check, but I want you to get that other money as well. Stay with me as we go into noontime. But thank you for joining me on Mornings LALATE.